Big news, everybody. Hats are back in stock on sportingchancepod.com. Select t-shirts are $10 off and sticker packs are half off. Go get them while you can. And if you want a lurcher like we discuss on today's episode, head on over to Clover Creek Canine on Facebook and message our friend Sean O'Neill today. For your micro hawking and redtail supplies on the East Coast, visit mountainstatefalconrysupply.com. To get the tightest braided equipment on the market, visit midnightfalconry.com. And last but not least, to add a goshawk to your hunting arsenal, go on over to northmountaingoshawks.com today to put in your order for next year's hunting partner. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We did a whirlwind trip to Delaware. Casey drove down from New York. I drove up from North Carolina, and all with the purpose of swapping a couple birds and having a conversation with Teddy. We just kind of set up the microphone on the table and we were just talking, and the intention was to start an episode, but we just kind of got into it. So there's not really a very clean welcome to the show. But to be honest with you guys, I don't really think Teddy needs an introduction at this point. How do you feel about it, Casey?
Yeah, agreed. I think there might be some people that are tired of hearing Teddy on the podcast, but I don't think so. You know, you can't be hawking and running dogs that long, going overseas to Europe, running dogs there and be one episode and you cover everything, because we heard so much new stuff on this episode. You know what I mean? So
I'd say for those of you out there who are tired of hearing Teddy, we're not sorry.
Yeah, not at all. Just she's a lot of wisdom, a lot of great stories. It was a really fun time, and we were trying to be slick because Aaron he hit record on the mic and then gave me a nod, and then we're like, "Did you say it at the end or in the middle?" And you're like, "Oh, Teddy, I just want to let you know that we've been recording this whole time." She's like, "Yeah, I know." She's like, I have two boys. I have children. You're both of your demeanors. I saw the look in your eyes. Yeah. It's we were trying to be so sneaky, and she just instantly knew that the podcast started. It was so funny.
But on the real, I don't think anybody's actually tired of hearing Teddy. How could you be?
I'm just used to dealing with haters and hearing them. You know what I mean? Everyone's got something to say. And
that's true. That is true.
I'm assuming someone's like, well, I'd rather hear from Steve Chingren for the 50th time, or whatever. Right.
Well, up until before the show existed, John, when John Mounier was the only game in town, I'm sure he misses those days, by the way. I remember urging them to record an episode with Teddy. I was like, you guys got to go record an episode with Teddy. That's my number one want, is for you to record an episode with her. And so thankfully it's happened on his side, our side. I feel like somebody else interviewed her too. Didn't someone else?
Nobody of any significance or interest did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's an adversary. I've extended one too many olive branches to that individual to even consider naming him on this.
Next time you extend an olive branch, it's going to be sharpened and it's going to be pointed at his heart.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's just a guy that clearly is not who he is trying to be on the show, boring as hell, and then getting mad. We don't have to rehash the whole thing, but yeah.
Well, what an ungracious introduction for the most gracious person on earth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode with Teddy. Hopefully there's many more to come.
Box handle stuff, and he made it all. And there's a picture of me and him in his garage in Argentina holding the knife.
Cool.
It was the highlight of the whole trip.
You seen this one?
The rest was a waste of time. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Look at that little thing.
And it's so unique that it's not made by anybody.
It was just some person that made it?
No, it's at the flea market here for $5.
And they have a bunch of these?
I already bought them.
Can I see it?
And I go every 2 weeks, and I said, "You got any more?" He had 2 more for me. He says, "But they've gone up to $6." Okay, I give them away. There's Paul Thomas's son, Gavin, was at a field trial where I was judging, and I cuddled up to Gavin, and where he said, "Your parents let you have knives?" And he's kind of blushing and looking around. He says, "Yeah, I've got one." I said, "How would you like one like this?"
That's so nice of you, Teddy. That probably made his whole.
It's like giving a Boy Scout, the challenge coin. And you could hang it from your neck and be Joe Cool.
Yeah. I get 2 into earrings.
Yeah.
What do they call it in Boy Scouts again? The card. I know Royal Rangers is the cut and chop card, which I thought was so. It was so lame compared to the Boy Scout one, because the Boy Scout one had a different name and it was cooler.
The knife safety.
Yeah, your safety, you get it, and then you can have a knife.
Something chip. Totem chip.
To something, yeah. And you have to take a whole class and show them that you know how to use it.
Yeah, like when I hand it to you open, you say thank you.
Yeah. We had to act it out in front of the Scout Masters, and you have to hand the knife, and you have to turn it around and like this. And thank you. Right? You have to say thank you.
It's just ringing a bell.
Carl and I still do it.
Yeah.
It's just automatic.
It's just good. Yeah. Like if you never hand a knife like this, you turn it around and then you don't let go of it until they say thank you. Because otherwise, if you let go too soon, it will fall and stab somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And then once you do that, then I remember my mom and dad, they're like, "Okay, you can carry a knife in your pocket now." And then I'd walk around with a knife and I'd be like,
"Yeah, my son's
little pocket."
Well, it sticks with you, and it's and I've had people that don't get it. They're yanking at it.
Yeah. Like my wife, she's like trying to open something, and she's like,
"You never cut towards yourself."
Yeah, with the knife. I'm like, oh god.
So I'm coming up from Delaware. When we bought this, we didn't move here.
Yeah.
All right. And we went out. I made dinner or went out to eat whatever, and there's a roast pork. So I'm in my truck driving home up the turnpike or something, and I had that roast pork here on the front seat. I said, "Oh, I got to have some of that." So I take out my knife, and I'm trying to carve while I'm driving on the turnpike. And with pork, it's a little greasy.
Yeah.
Right in my thigh.
Really? Oh, no.
Bleeding. I go to the first rest area. I'm hobbling in there,
Oh, my gosh.
Dope.
Yeah, we all know better, but
I know.
Still do it. It's like I was talking to Phil last night, and I said, I think I'm probably a worse falconer than I was at a certain point.
Yeah, because you take it for granted and you're sloppy.
Right.
You get so what?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not worried about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But early on, of course, your first bird, you're a mess, right? But after a little while, after a few years, you get in the groove, but you're still very careful, and you're very you don't take it for granted. It's very special to you still. And everything is very well thought out. And now I'm just, throwing birds in boxes. And
yeah, I don't buy the fancy equipment and the fancy hoods. That'll do.
I still do. I'm still guilty.
The hoods, I think, is
they're.
If you could afford to buy a couple of nice ones, you should buy a couple of nice ones to have them around. From good guys, because they're not going to make them all. They're going to stop making them.
He has one of my dogs. He made that. It's out in the other room. He made one for me, and it's so nice. I don't want to put it on.
I have some that they're too nice. The paint job's too nice, or the sewing's too intricate.
Yeah.
I don't know where Susan Fuller got that, but she gave it to me one year.
Oh, that's neat.
It's a long-haired dachshund chasing a rabbit. I think she had it.
I think it looks like somebody engraved it,
or whatever you call it. But it's too big for me.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's like heavy on your pants. So, the only thing I'm careful with, Aaron, is when I have a hatchet and it's like very sharp.
Yeah.
When I'm chopping up food for the birds, that's the only thing that I am extremely focused on, because I'm like, I'll literally, you watch it go through a frozen squirrel and the squirrel I'm like, that'll just chop my finger off and then I can't work. So that's like the one thing that I do.
Yes, your work.
That I'm super, I'll lay it there, I line it up like this, and I go like this. I'm like that. That's the only thing that I keep myself focused on.
I think about when I'm snipping with shears, cutting meat, and I think, man, if you forgot,
not paying attention.
Shear some of those really nice shears that are new and sharp. They're
Kenny has a friend who's real big on sharpening knives, so he took all the knives I used to cut up deer, and the first time I'm cutting it up, I took a big slab off of there.
Oof.
And I had to go get emergency because the skin is gone. The little piece is gone, right?
Bring a piece of deer skin to replace it.
Yeah.
So they put my hand in a bowl of antibiotic water, and I could watch it with my heartbeat. You can see the blood coming out.
That's pretty cool, though.
It was.
But that's crazy.
Yeah. So they wanted to do it styptic, of course, because
What's
there's
that?
nothing to stitch. Styptic is
Powder that stops the bleed.
Oh, the stuff like you do when you're shaving?
Yeah.
I bought some of that.
right. So they didn't. It was one of these man in a can places, and they didn't have any, so they had to go get some from another clinic. So I'm sitting there bleeding out, and it was on the end of a stick like a Q-tip, and they put it on there, and you really know when they put it on
Yeah,
you.
it burns.
Okay, so it took 3 to stop it from bleeding. But what I thought was really cool is there was a vein here, and it couldn't come out anymore, and it was wiggling like a worm under my skin. You could see it. Like a salamander was under there. It was going, like, oh, there's a roadblock. It was fascinating. And, the nurse wants to throw up. And the doctor says, when you're leaving. So, okay.
The doctor's trying to push you out of there.
Yeah, there's
Trying to
enough
get
for
you
this
out.
woman. So it healed. Next time, I sliced right down there. And to this day, I can't feel with the fingertip.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's, I still go around, I pick things up like that because
Out of fear that you're like,
if you touch it, it feels like you got a tight bandage on there.
Really?
There's some nerve damage there.
Oh, wow.
So I can't pick my nose.
You got to be careful with knives.
I was thinking like burning yourself, like you touch something hot, you don't realize you burn, but because it's numb.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen
Yeah.
here. But then and when I grab something, sometimes there's a jolt. It's weird.
Oh.
Well, what am I going to do? Hey, doc, fix my finger. Yeah. Anyways, yes, sharp objects are to be respected. I think the axe, I do the same thing. I put it there and then I hit it.
Yeah, and then I reposition.
Because I'm thinking of what's for dinner and where do we.
That's like me, yeah.
Yeah.
My kid's screaming, my wife's, and I'm like chopping up squirrels for the birds, and I'm going to take my thumb off or something, which will literally it's not even like you'd get a cut or something. It would just cut your finger
Be
off.
gone.
Yeah,
Right.
be gone. It'd fall on the floor.
I don't let my dogs eat squirrel feet.
Because of the claws?
Yeah, they don't go through their little diet. The big dogs, I didn't care, but the little dogs,
Yeah.
that's one thing that Fitz got caught in her shortened gut.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You can get really sick if you eat. You
Squirrel.
get squirrel brains on you.
I heard
Really?
that. There's
Yeah,
some
prions.
Yeah.
But what does it do
Look
to
up,
you?
look
though?
up prions.
I know what prions. I know
okay,
that's
you
mad
get
cow
it.
disease.
Yeah, squirrel brains.
Yeah, there's one the squirrels carry that.
Humans can get it,
Yep. If it's on your hands.
and you can't get rid of it.
I don't know if you get over
Prions you can't really get rid of, right?
It messes your head up, your brain. But wear gloves when you handle a squirrel. At
I
least for
started-
head,
Why is there so much stuff to worry about? Aaron's got me all riled up about rabies the other day. and-
Yeah,
what rabies is.
rabies you don't get over either.
No.
I mean, that's nothing to fool with.
Have you had any scares before, Teddy, with rabies?
I have my shots. Got bit.
I had mine. Me and Teddy, 2 out of 3 of us have our shots.
I should go get
I
it
got
just to be
bit by a
safe.
coon during the pandemic in the 90s when there were dead raccoons everywhere and the dogs were working one and I got bitten. And I had a glove on, but it scraped my skin.
Yeah.
And I thought, I have children. I ought to.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going to school? My mom died of rabies.
Yeah.
So I got my shots. But now that's just 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. They give you one in your butt, gamma globulin to make your body accept. And then they give you one 7 days later, another one 7 days later, the other one, or 14 days. It's no big. Used to be 10 in your stomach.
I was bit by a skunk and I went, and the first round was in my butt. And then it was just like you said, in the arms, and it wiped me out. I was devastated.
I've heard people got sick from it. Yeah.
I couldn't be woken up. My buddy worked with me, and I would leave my door unlocked to my apartment, and he would come into my apartment and shake me awake to get up in the morning.
Really? For
Yeah.
how long? A couple of days?
Pretty much Yeah, like after the shot, definitely for the first few days, but it was rough the whole time.
Huh.
Yeah, it was weird.
No, I don't want to get it unless I have to.
Well, it beats the alternative.
Beats the alternative.
It's scary, yeah. It's scary.
But it's, if you get a raccoon, and so many raccoons have it.
Yeah, they carry it and not manifest it. They can have babies, lick their babies, and the babies are carrying it. But don't manifest
Tons
it.
of them have
Raccoons
it.
are dirty.
Tons of them have
They carry
it's not rare.
coronavirus. They carry distemper. But the rabies is the one you don't want to.
And
jeez.
so if you have a scratch on your hand and you got raccoon saliva in it,
Right.
might be dead.
It's curtains. I got bitten thanks to a friend of we were digging a groundhog and it got near dark. And I was with this woman and I had the Derringer in there and I knew the groundhog was at the bottom of that hole somewhere. So I shot once and I guess I didn't kill it because the next time I put my hand in there, he was waiting for me. Bit heck out of me.
Yeah.
Right.
They have powerful jaws.
Oh my, right to the bone. Right to the bone. And I kept asking her because she used to smoke. I said, "You got a lighter on you or some matches?" No, I quit smoking. I said, "Great, thanks a lot," because I could have at least seen where he was. So it was a pretty severe bite. So I decided maybe I'll go get a booster shot because it was still at the end of the rabies epidemic we had. And she wanted to follow me to the hospital in case I fainted while I was driving.
Because it was bleeding that much? Or?
Yeah, because it was bleeding and she thought, no. I said, don't worry about it. So I got a booster. And what they don't tell you on a booster shot is they put it right at the site, the first shot. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And didn't that guy have fun going all around the bite with his little needle poking in dribs?
Ouch.
Yeah, that's what I said. Are you enjoying yourself?
My wisdom tooth in the back got infected one time and swelled up.
Oh.
And the guy's like, yeah, we'll take care of it. Open up. And I'm like, okay. He takes the needle and stabs it into the inflamed hole.
Thank you.
And like my eyes, like I saw white and stars.
Yeah.
And like I just instinctually like reached up to like grab him.
Sure.
And then the nurse, like the dental assistant, the two of them had to come in and like hold my arms down for the next shot. Because he's like, I know you're not doing it on purpose, but like, I don't want to stab you in your eyeball or something. And they like held my arms down and he cleaned it all out.
Oh man, does that hurt?
It hurt like nothing I ever felt in my life.
No. Oof.
He's like, just hold still. Like right into like this inflamed
can't imagine.
Yeah, it was agony.
So once you get your rabies shots, what I've done subsequently, since I had them in the middle 90s, is when I go annual physical and they take all the blood and I get an extra one, check my titer.
Oh, to see if it's still in there?
Yeah, you check
I need
the
to
titer.
start doing that.
Yeah. And it's been 20 years since I had the shot and they said, yeah, your body's still. So, but if I do get bitten, I will go get a booster. And it should be on your home insurance.
Really?
That they cover it. It may not say it.
Why
but
home insurance?
I don't know.
So like the mailman comes, you run out and bite him?
Your property.
There's a little outbreak in my area, in my town. Feral cats and raccoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any mammal can carry it.
Yes.
Except possums. Their body temperature is too low.
And
it's crazy.
Little ones like rats and squirrels, they'll die very quickly,
2 days.
right? Yeah,
so if you get bit by a squirrel hawking, you're not necessarily going to get a shot.
Not rabies, no.
If it's
not unless it comes down a tree and jumps you.
Yeah. Like if you saw a squirrel like like dying, like crawling around dying and you got bit by it, then it might have rabies.
Yeah,
but you can get the brain tested, which is probably what I would do if I didn't have the rabies shot. But the skunk that bit me, I didn't have access to it, so it wasn't.
How long do you have before?
Probably a long time, right? For the rabies.
5 days.
5 days.
If you get a sore throat in 5 days,
you're dead.
Make your will.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
ends up
terrifying.
Casey ends up killing himself. Like, it was just a cold. It was a cold. He's like, I'm not going through that.
A friend of mine, her husband's a veterinarian, and she went and watched the rabies. They show the veterinarians a person in a padded room dying of rabies. That'll make you be careful.
How do they keep the stream of patients in the padded room, or do they have like actors for the class?
I don't know, but this was at a hospital, and
I saw a video. It was like a Ukrainian guy. This is recent, and they had him in like some kind of like, I guess, like makeshift like hospital thing, and he was dying of rabies, and he was like,
it's not.
"Oh my god, it's traumatizing."
And,
Scary. And it's American rabies.
Really?
It's spread throughout the world from America.
no doubt. People shipping dogs back and
Dr.
forth.
Fauci?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
And there is a form of dumb rabies. They aren't all furious. They're kind of uncoordinated. And,
Yeah, cowardly too, I heard.
yeah, but that's rabies, but it's not coming after you slavering.
Yeah.
That scares me more than the furious rabies.
Right.
Because I had 2 groundhogs this year that I shot because they were stumbling and trying to eat and stumbling and trying to eat. So I shot them in the heart instead of the head, but I couldn't. I called Fish and Game. They said, we don't have the facilities, and unless there's a number of animals in that area, we don't do anything. Call the health department. So I called the health department. Press 1 for this, 2 for that, 3 for it. I went through the whole thing, and I never got a human. It said, if you find a sick wild animal, call Fish and Game.
Just useless.
You should have just called from a payphone and said, I think somebody caught 1 extra squirrel than they're supposed to. This is the address they live at. You'd have 4 of them in bulletproof vests in front of your house, and you go, okay, great, thank you. Now that you're here, can you tell me if this thing has rabies or not? Because that's literally how it
they
works.
need the head. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I had this guy.
There's an old lady with a cardinal feather on her refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And many more.
Yeah. I had a guy in my neighborhood. This was like 2 years ago, and he I don't know who he was, but he was like flying by my house right as like 3 deer ran across the road, and he literally, like in a it was like a Honda like Accord, smashes the deer, and then it goes under him, and he roll like up like tires off the ground and everything right in front of my house. And then he pulls over, and he's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, he's like, I just thank God it wasn't a dog or a person. He's like, I was just,
Anyway,
and I'm like, all right. And then he was like, all right, and he left. And then I'm like, beautiful doe sitting right there in the lawn. So I started, I'm calling everywhere. Can I get a permit? Can I get a permit? Nobody was answering me. Nobody was getting back to me. I called every game warden on the list for my area.
Yard, and
I just drug it in the backyard, strung it up, and just started butchering it. And I butchered it, put it in my freezer.
I pick them up on the road if I see them or somebody reports one. And one time a state trooper was by the woman who had hit it. And he said, I'll help you put it in your car. I didn't have to fill out. In the game laws that you get every year, there's a card that you're supposed to fill out if you find a dead roadkill deer and notify so-and-so. If there's no tag on it, it's mine.
Yeah.
They don't want them. And one guy told me they pay some guy $40 to pick up roadkill deer, and he takes them to New Jersey, puts them in a pit, and burns them.
Yeah.
It's insane. You're supposed to have a salvage permit in my state to do it.
They don't want to be
Most
bothered.
states, I think, you're supposed to.
Yeah,
it's
you're
only for
supposed to.
certain animals. You can't, like, black bears, obviously, you can't.
I saw a dead black bear. Man, where was I going?
North.
Oh no, I was going to my friend Travis's house in North Carolina. He lives in the mountains. There was a really nice looking red tail spotted there, that was white, very white. We went all over, we couldn't find it. But on the way there was a dead black bear beside the road, which is very weird in North Carolina. There's not a whole lot of them there. They're there.
Well, in the mountains, there's a lot of them.
They're there, but it's not like you have in
They're
Jersey.
on the coast.
Yeah.
The coast is like, there's
really
a
bunch at the coast, and they're in the mountains, but they're not like infested like they are.
Like
Jersey.
Yeah, it's out of control.
It's probably like what a population should be, because they're hunted there.
Right.
People pursue them with dogs. And
Good.
I wanted to ask you, have you ever got tularemia?
No. Not yet.
We'll knock on wood for you. Of all the rabbits you've got, you've never, because I thought it's fairly common, right?
I wear rubber gloves.
Okay.
You asked me one time, do you wear gloves and I said yes, and you looked a little disappointed.
I was.
Jersey, I never did. But I know from past experience that South Jersey, there would often be newspaper reports. Some guy shot a rabbit, gave it to his grandmother, old woman, and she got tularemia. So I thought, you know what? I'm in the South now. I wear rubber gloves.
I was hunting with a guy,
field.
and he pulled out a pair of gloves that go up to your elbow.
No,
to
I'm
gut
not
a doe.
that careful.
And I was disgusted. I told him, you take those gloves off and put your hand in there, or I'm leaving. I'm not helping you drag
How do
this
you
to the
think it would
truck.
have went in West Virginia if I would have pulled gloves out?
Oh, they would have just probably killed you.
Kick me down the hillside.
Go home, Yankee.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I was born there, so they.
Oh, yeah, you're okay.
They couldn't say much, but no, I think it's smart to do that. And I feel like I think about it sometimes, but I never, like, I get blood all over my hands.
When I clean
constantly.
them at home now, I wear gloves because I don't want tularemia. I don't want to be like sick. Sick freaks me out. I don't want to get sick. I don't mind getting blood and guts on me, but I don't want to get sick.
But how are you going to get sick from it, though?
I don't know what the symptoms and what.
But no,
it is.
like, what's the transmission? Like, how?
I don't know.
Blood. If you have a little scratch on your hand and the
Bodily
blood,
fluid.
yeah, the blood gets into your scratch, and it has tularemia. You have tularemia.
Which probably happens all the time
happens
because
to
we're
me
in the
nonstop, I
briars.
feel like.
Oh, whole season our hands are nicked up. Yeah. But if you
Teddy didn't get it, I feel like I'm not going to get it.
Jersey, we're tough.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, if
well, if you look, you can look at CDC maps of it.
I don't look at that. So propaganda.
That's psychological warfare. I'm not
And
looking
that's
at
the thing
that.
I thought about those CDC maps is it because more people are hunting rabbits there?
Where they don't want us to hunt rabbits anymore.
Yeah, and they're
Trying to
reporting
scare-
it.
You know where there's a lot of tularemia in North Carolina.
Oh.
A lot of cases.
I have
And
to
there's a
look that
lot of
up.
cases in Kansas too. And there's a lot of rabbits in
That's
Kansas.
where they get all the rabbits.
I don't know. I've never even thought of it as being a thing unless you like put your fingers in your mouth or like what I do also. Another pro tip is my phone because we're always in the field and
Yeah,
we're playing with our
taking
phones.
pictures, right?
I have like these disinfectant wipes
Yeah,
like
I
at
do
home
I
and
do that too.
I just take it and I just rub my whole phone down like every time I come in. It's just like a habit now.
Yeah, I wash. If you read about tularemia, it says rodents carry it as well as rabbits. So that's a thought too.
You know, the one that scares me from rodents is what's the one that's in their pee?
That's toxoplasmosis.
Hantavirus.
Wow, that's, yeah.
That if there was an outbreak in one of the national parks like Yellowstone,
I was going to say that's a Western thing.
people were staying in a cabin there,
Right.
and if there's wild mice in there and the pee settles and then you kick it up and you inhale
the dust, right.
that you get it and it kills you.
What?
Hantavirus kills you. They
What?
died.
Oh, that's a different. I'm thinking of Valley
They died
fever.
from mouse piss?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? I feel like, but if you go to the hospital, I feel like they could save you.
It might be one of those things that you're like, I feel like I have a cold. Do you go to the hospital when you feel like you have a cold?
No.
And then
And then it's too late.
it's too late.
Because that's like, because I'm a plumber and we were talking about this.
This probably hits close to home because he's crawling around under houses where
Oh
mice
yeah,
are
no,
peeing.
for 100%. Yeah, yeah. No, but the what the heck is it in the water? Static water. It grows.
Blue-green algae.
Not. It's like a virus, like a bacteria that will make you sick. And it's called. And I should know this because it was on my master.
I see
plumber's
things
exam.
about online. They're like, why is still water so scary in like a abandoned place?
Mhm. That's why you
Or a
can't have dead
cave or
ends. You
something.
can't have dead ends in water systems and stuff like that. It's because of can't remember the name. But basically, you can drink the water, you won't get sick. It's when you're in the shower and it aerosolizes and it goes in your respiratory system, then you get it and you're very sick. I can't think of the name of it, but anyways, along the same lines where
Yeah.
if it dries out and then I guess it gets in the air, whatever.
What about cat toxoplasmosis?
Toxoplasma is like raccoons and cat thing, right? They carry it.
Yeah. So,
That's the poop. Like if your
feral
child is
cats
playing
all
with
over
it.
the place,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we used to have a sandbox in Spring Lane where I lived, and the cats were always crapping in there.
Yeah,
The neighbors' cats. That stuff is. So there's something out there that can get you.
I know. It's just like rabies scares me, and then now you just scared me with the
hantavirus.
Yeah, that's scary.
So just looked it up. Hantavirus causing hantavirus, cardiopulmonary syndrome, and hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome in Eurasia. So mice carry the hanta in America. And transmission, inhalation of virus particles from dried urine, feces, or saliva. Symptoms vary: hantavirus, fatigue, fever, muscle aches, and later severe respiratory problems.
Thanks.
Great.
I had my old house, I had a shed that had field mice infestation. And when I cleaned it, I went in and like sprayed everything down with bleach before I cleaned it. It was probably overkill, but
yeah, bleach is a good thing. Bleach is a good thing.
what's bleach made of? Does anybody know?
Clorox?
Yeah.
Yes,
Where do they
made of
make it?
Chlorine.
How do they make it?
I don't know.
I wonder.
Carefully.
Yeah, I wonder.
That's a good question.
Stacy's mother was a hoarder of cleaning, and she had so much chlorine in her basement stored that she got respiratory problems from breathing the chlorine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and there's like other things like my wife, from Argentina, they use all kinds of stuff to clean, and she'll take like this and like then she'll take that. And I'm like, you have to be careful what you're cleaning with, because if you mix them together and breathe it in, she's like, no, we're fine. This is how we do it. I'm like, all right, well,
Baking powder and vinegar and stuff.
Yeah, like there's certain ones, like if you mix like bleach and something else and you start
ammonia and bleach
and you start scrubbing it, like it'll poison you and you'll like stroke out on the ground.
My mom told me that her mom, my grandma, that's normal. They made that as a cleaner at home. She was like, "Oh, you'll be fine. Just open a window up."
Right, but then it's like I'm not a total conspiracy theorist, but like they don't know how much money is in cleaning products.
Yeah, they don't want you to make your own cleaning products.
Right, they're telling you that to scare you, so that you have to buy their stuff.
You're supposed to, vinegar.
Vinegar is great.
Cleans everything.
Cleans everything.
Right. But you have to buy the perfumed kind that they sell in the store for,
right.
The cleaning products.
Teddy, we've been recording the whole time.
I know.
He thought he was clever and she knew the whole time.
Yeah. Well, you both have this look. Hey, I had sons.
We're in business mode.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it was just to get it started. And then we just started having a natural conversation. But
I have a good raccoon story.
Ooh, tell it.
I'd love to hear the raccoon story.
All right, well,
does the raccoon die at the end?
Yes.
Then we definitely want to hear it.
That's how all the good raccoon stories end, right?
Well, I wrote it up for an article in that American Working Terrier Association. I called it a mercy killing. Okay. Big blackberry thicket, and the blackberries are ripe. So the one time I went there, we got into a possum because he's eating the blackberries. The next time I went, we got into a groundhog because he was eating the blackberries. And this is over weeks' time. Third time, they got a coon in there. And there is nothing more vocal than a raccoon when 3 dachshunds are yelling at it. But it didn't escape through the briars and go to a nearby woodlot, which it could have. I just thought this is odd because he'd fight the dogs. And the only way I could get to the fight, I have small loppers, and I had to cut my way in because they're blackberries that have been there for years and years. And there's tunnels under it where the animals go. Well, I don't fit in those tunnels. So I lopped my way in. Meantime, this fight's going on. And I had the .22 rifle, but I couldn't see down into the animal, and by the time I got near him, he'd move. So the dogs had to corner him again. And one of my dogs is gray and black, the dapple. Well, when the sunlight comes through those vines, her fur looks like a raccoon with sunlight on it. So I'm going to be very careful, not just shoot at a distance. I need to be close to him. And he kept fighting the dogs very valiantly. And third time, he ran over my foot, but I couldn't get the gun on him, right? And they caught him again, and I managed to get a bullet in him, but it didn't kill him. And then he decided to, and this is over, half hour, real fracas, because every time he moved, I had to lock my way in there again. And he finally went out into some very tall weeds and grass, and they cornered him one last time. And he seemed to decide to take it out on me, because he stood up like coons do with his paws up, and they suck in their chest and their belly like he's going to come after, and he's looking right at me 6 feet away, and his eyes are blue. He's blind, cataracts. So he knew I was there.
Aaron's crying right now.
Because of my form, he could finally see me totally. And he, I'll never forget him standing up in those 2 blue eyes looking at me. And the dogs, of course, jump him, and he gets down, and I get the bullet in his head. He had a very poor coat, and he was thin. His body was thin. So, and he had one canine broken and the other rotted out, the wear and tear. So he was an old coon trying to live on blackberries. So I called my friend up there in Westtown. He's a coon hunter for 100 years. And I said, have you ever seen a blind coon? He says, yes. Blue eyes. And he said, yep. The dogs got into it. And it was, so it wasn't my imagination, because when I had him dead, I could see the cataracts on his eyes.
Wow.
So he's seen that same raccoon that you ran into?
He has seen a blind raccoon.
Maybe that one, or is
No, he's saying she called a friend that hunts raccoons and said, have you ever seen this before?
Oh, but he wasn't from, okay.
No,
I thought
sorry.
it was a local person.
No. Just kind of to share it with him, because I used to get coons every now and then with a bobtail.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, well, I called my expert, and he said the boars fight so badly that sometimes they pull the tail, bite the tail off the other one. I don't know, but
raccoons are tough.
That's why I called it a mercy killing, because he wouldn't probably have made it through the winter.
He would have had a really slow and painful
starve.
death, or a coyote would get him or something.
Or he'd go across a road and get road killed.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was
It's a great story.
When rationalizing, shooting the bears to your average person, because it sounds, bears are so cool looking to your average person, and they never run into them. So they're not like Casey that has to deal with them and the repercussions of a lot of bears. That's the alternative for an animal that's not killed, is that.
Animals don't die quick deaths.
No.
You don't die of old age.
No.
If a hunter doesn't shoot that bear, because bears are at the top of the food chain, unless another bear kills it, nothing else is going to kill it. So a bear or a human.
Their teeth wear down, and that's why they get in trouble eating garbage, because they can't hold on to the fawn that they normally eat.
So really, it needs to happen eventually. It's got to happen.
It's a mercy killing.
Yeah.
And no matter what age you kill it, he doesn't have a pleasant ending.
No. Same with falconry birds. If you don't trap them and they're in that percentage, it's a very bad death.
Birds of prey. And, like I tell people, there's always something out there wants to eat you if you're an animal.
100%, yeah.
If it's not worms or disease or starvation.
Hantavirus.
Yeah, hantavirus, rabies.
So tularemia.
Almost every, like coon and fox and all the rest of them, they're full of worms.
Yeah.
They all have rabbits with the tapeworms.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate that.
Early season, I see a lot of it. It's usually, I don't see that much of it later on.
You see in February, like they don't have hair on the back of their neck because they're all engorged ticks and they've been scratching themselves.
So disgusting.
What are we supposed to do? Trap them and put dip on them? It's Mother Nature. She's not kind.
No. I did have a question. It's like a stupid question, but how many dachshunds do you think it would take to kill one raccoon?
Depend on the size of the dachshund. A standard?
Not a standard. Like the ones we run, mini, and you got an average size raccoon.
No.
Not happening, even if you had like 10 of them?
They could hold it.
They can hold it.
I mean, yeah. If it was a fight to the death, a pack of dachshunds could kill a raccoon, right?
They can hold on to it, but a raccoon's skin is so tough and he can move in his skin that they can't break the skin to get it vital.
So you think he wins ultimately?
Mm-hmm. He could fight him off.
It'd have to be like 20 dachshunds or something crazy, right?
They'd be fighting each other. You couldn't get 20 dachshunds to agree on one thing.
Well, because I asked, because bear hounds, and I was a little surprised. I mean, they're decent sized dogs, but they're not like big dogs, right?
50, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they'll routinely kill a bear if the hunter doesn't get there in time. And there could only be a couple of them, and they'll still kill it.
They have bigger, stronger heads than the dachshund does. Now,
but the ratio is not close. You know what I mean?
I don't believe so.
Versus, bear, bear dog, and then like raccoon versus dachshund. Like it's kind of close. But I see what you're saying. They wouldn't. Their mouths are not big enough to get around that. Their
jaws are not strong enough, and
because that's how they die, is what we were told. Is the bear hounds, they exhaust it and they all start pulling on it, and then one of them just gets up under the neck and just throttles it.
Yeah, I don't think a dachshund could throttle a coon.
No. Yeah.
Do you think one Patterdale could kill a raccoon?
Depend on the raccoon and the Patterdale.
Your average raccoon, your average Patterdale.
Some pats could do it. They have to learn where to get the animal, and they'd pay a high price. Uh-huh. I had a Jack Russell guy tell me that 5 Jack Russells could kill a jaguar.
What?
That is stupid.
Well, terrier. We talked about this about terrier people and their average IQs.
And maybe he believed it, But I wouldn't want to have my terrier.
A jaguar, isn't that like the 3rd largest cat in the world? I think you got like lion, tiger, and jaguar.
A lot of the early Jack Russell guys that got the early Jack Russells that came over, they wanted to get him in on bobcats up in the rock shelves. And I think one event went south.
Oh, of course it would.
I bet it did.
Bobcats can kill a full-grown doe.
Yeah. Which
people do not even realize that.
I mean, if you get a young coon, most dogs can kill it. Right. You get a 21-pound. My 50-pound lurcher, 60-pound lurcher had trouble with a 21-pound coon because they know how to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, they live.
Have you ever heard the stories of a boar coon drowning coonhounds in the water?
Yeah.
Do you think that's true?
Yep. My dad had coonhounds, and if they got in the water, it was a problem. He sent me in, get the dog out, bring the coon with it.
How is the coon doing? He's like basically like climbing on its head and like kind of holding it. Is it drowning them on purpose, or is it just
using it for support? No, it happens because the dog won't let go of the coon, and the coon won't let go of the dog.
And the coon wants to get his head above the water because he's kind of like an aquatic animal that lives around water and understands it. Maybe I don't know.
And it depends on whether the water's really deep, and the dog is trying to keep his head up because he can't touch bottom.
Oh, I can see that going south really quick. And a 20-pound coon
holding him under, you can drown pretty quickly.
Yeah. I recently watched 2 lurchers engage with a coon for the first time.
It didn't go down easy, did it?
It did not. They eventually took care of it, but it was I was surprised because I'm like,
I heard the second one went down really easy.
Very easy.
Well, they have to learn the hold.
They learned. Yeah, they learned.
It's like the terriers that they used on groundhogs and stuff. A groundhog has no neck.
Yeah.
It's just cheeks, and they can grab them by those big cheek muscles.
Yeah.
And the groundhog just kind of turns his head and he starts chewing and taking the rest of the lips off.
There's some gnarly looking terriers I've seen with no lips.
The Patterdales, right? The badger.
Scarred up on their face, no lips.
Terriers are incredible dogs.
A guy tried to sell me a very nice small female Patterdale, but she had no tongue because the badger bit it off, and I had to feed her mush if I took her. Well, no.
What?
Thank you.
She couldn't drink either, could she?
Not very well. It was messy. I never saw her. He was in England. I said, no, I appreciate the offer of a small dog because he saw that we need small dogs here. But a good terrier, if they're hard, they'll have a tough life for sure. The guys used to just wash them out, the injuries out with peppermint water, to sterilize it. And there's guys over here that are rough on their dogs post-confrontation. And that's up to them. It's their dog.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think you ought to show respect to the dog after it did such hard work. I think we all agree on that.
I don't know.
Teddy looks like she might not agree with that.
Speak freely, Teddy.
That's why I have baying dogs.
Yeah.
Especially with groundhogs, you don't need a confrontation. You just need the dog to tell you where it is, and you dig to it and shoot it or have the big dog pull it out. But there are people that want the terrier to go in and grab the animal and pull it out. And I saw a Patterdale die doing that because the groundhog backfilled over the dog. The Patterdale was attached to the groundhog's face, and it was sandy soil, and the groundhog just buried both of them, bush and soil. And the dog suffocated, but the groundhog, he lives underground.
And so the Patterdale wouldn't let go and drowned.
Suffocated. Yeah.
Drowned on dirt.
That's
brutal.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about the mouse gas chamber that I used to euthanize rodents. Baby rodents, you can't suffocate them. You have to freeze them.
Is that right?
Yeah. They won't die in a gas chamber. Yeah.
That's interesting.
You would think all animals, especially mammals, need to breathe oxygen, need the same amount or the right. But groundhogs can probably survive on next to none.
Yeah, because they bury themselves when they hibernate.
Yeah.
And at that point, their systems shut down. They breathe once a minute, once a day, something like that.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
This is a good transition into something I wanted to talk to you about. Was you gave me that tape that Brian Plummer sent you as a correspondence.
Yes.
I bought a recorder that turns it into an MP3, and I emailed it to you. I don't know if you got it or were able to listen to it or even care to listen to it.
No, I didn't.
Okay, we can try it again if you want to hear it. But he said in that tape, he should very much like to see a groundhog when he comes to America.
He never did get to America that I know of.
Yeah, he never did?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Because
they wanted him over here to judge. And as far as I know, when I was with the Russell people, they never had him over.
And that tape, most of it was him trying to get you to set him up with some American women.
Right. I do remember that part of the tape. Because that tape's 30, 40 years old. I don't remember what was on
it. He was telling you about... he said he was dating a girl that was the singer of a punk rock band, and he was just so witty and clever.
He was. He had a way with words for sure.
The way he was pulling just pulling those words. I mean, unless it was all premeditated, unless he had thought about this beforehand, but it didn't sound like it. It sounded like it was just off the top of his head.
Yeah, right. It took him a while to make that tape because he wasn't used to speaking into a tape recorder. This is the old days when we had.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I don't think you could edit it really.
No.
You had to do it all in one shot, basically.
You'd have to have a old school studio to, but a person could not edit.
I think it's a good idea to set up for the listeners. Some people may not be familiar with Plummer and his.
So Brian Plummer is
David Brian Plummer.
Yeah, David Brian Plummer, DB Plummer, was a British author who wrote my favorite book called Tales of a Rat Hunting Man that Teddy told me about. It was organic. I was killing rats in my building and I was using the dachshunds, and Teddy said, "Do you realize that's an established sport, hunting rats with dogs?" And I honestly didn't know that. I had no idea. It was
Why
just
would you?
practical. Yeah. It was working for me.
Yeah.
And she said, you ought to look at a book called Tales of a Rat Hunting Man. So I ordered the book and read it and started picking up everything I could from him. I bought every book possible, and he was a prolific author. He wrote, I don't know how many, but 20 plus books, I'm sure, right? He wrote a lot of journal articles, things like that. He passed away in late 90s, early 2000s, probably.
Up in Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, he eventually moved to Scotland, and in his life, he was a school teacher, and he described himself as a lousy school teacher.
Well, apparently he taught where there were difficult young people to deal with, and I believe he got into boxing. He either taught it or...
That's what I understood that too, that he was had some sort of professional boxing record, 2 or 3 fights or something. I don't know. And then I've gotten into it, and through the internet, there's like a world of stuff out there. I found there's a book on tape, a CD, that it was probably the last thing he ever did, that I gave Teddy a copy today. I'm curious after you listen to it and I listen to it, what you think about it.
Sure.
But he created a breed of dog called the Plummer Terrier. Did you ever see those in person?
I believe I did, because he put Beagle in the terriers, and a lot of his terriers were what I would call a saddleback. They were brown heads, mostly white, but they had a brown saddle.
Mm.
And according to that tape, actually, he was talking about breeding. There was some sort of, what's the word for it when you want that color to be consistent in puppies you produce? Is there
Inbreeding?
He had a word for it. I can't think of it. And I'm probably doing a bad job of explaining it, but he wanted all the dogs to look like that.
Right. Cookie cutter. Yeah.
Which is curious, because who cares, right? Like you said earlier, you like the ones that can hunt. You don't care what they look like.
I don't care what color, but I think he wanted to put his stamp on a breed. He got to the point where, because with lurchers, it's always a mix, but the terriers, you could get them to breed true.
Little bit of an ego, probably, which is okay.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah.
I think personally he was a shy man, and this use of big words and pontification was kind of his shield from the world. I think he was shy.
Me too.
That's what I do with humor.
Yeah.
We all have something we put out there to protect ourselves.
We start cracking jokes in the most inappropriate times.
If you call yourself fat, it doesn't matter if somebody else
That's
does,
right. I got to beat them to it. Yeah, before they can hurt me. They can't hurt me if I hurt myself.
So he created a breed of dog called the Plummer Terrier that exists today.
Yeah, some people took it over. Yeah.
So he was kind of a big deal in the dog world.
In the dog world, not the terrier world so much. They considered him a poser because he wrote so much. But the guys that worked for the hunts and did terrier work a lot, they consider him kind of a dabbler.
Do you think that was just their opinion, or do you think there was any valid? Because you hunted with him.
We rat hunted, yeah, right.
Did you see anything like?
No, he was out there getting dirty with some of his students.
I mean, you can go fly. You can hear all the stuff about somebody, and you go fly with them with birds. In terms of falconry, you can. This person, it's all lies. This person's,
yeah,
they're fine. You know what I mean? They're not what people are saying.
Right.
Do you think they don't respect the ratting?
No,
because that was his primary sport.
It really was. It really was. It wasn't digging fox for a hunt, and because he was highly educated or whatever, there's a class distinction,
which is more exaggerated over there. Maybe
I don't know, but
I'm just saying if that's how they felt, I don't.
He was based on what I understand from reading his stuff, working class, poor background, who got an education.
Yes.
And they respect teachers over there, unlike here. So he had a respectable job that he hated.
Okay. Yes, right. But he was always a gentleman. I mean, I visited him in 1981 and stayed in the little cottage that they show a picture of. And he was a normal human being. some people didn't like him and make him out to be a weirdo and all this other stuff. But aren't we all?
Do you think it was maybe just jealousy because he was writing books and trying to do his thing? Because there seems like to this day there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yes, if you write a book, you sure set yourself up for, especially with the public media, the social media.
And even today, I guess the more common version of that would be getting notoriety for, posting content on YouTube or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then people come out of the woodworks like, he's not what he says he is. And it's like,
he wrote for Shooting News, a newspaper over there. And then there'd be a letter to the editor that they didn't agree with what he said, which is what social media is now.
Yeah, pretty much. Right.
What's the saying is the only thing a group of falconers will agree on is how bad another falconer is.
Right.
Like that.
I'm sure that works in.
So I don't know if it was some of that.
But he was a prolific writer and he was a good writer. And
he was, great. Yeah, great author.
And he helped Hancock out with the lurchers, promoting the lurchers. And there are people that don't like the collie lurcher.
I don't know what I'm talking about because my experience with lurchers is just absolutely minimal. I like the idea of the collie lurcher. I don't know that. And like I said, it may not. I think it makes sense to me that you have this fast
collie and a smart greyhound.
Yeah. You take the intelligence and the bidability of a collie and you add that to the speed of a sighthound.
But again, some people want a coursing dog that is harder than and maybe less thoughtful. I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
My lurchers were not only hunters, but they hung around the house. I could leave them loose where we lived. They were attuned to my family, to me. I wrote to David and I found the letter about things the dogs had done that I'd forgotten about.
And David Hancock?
Yes. Yeah, that's where I got my lurchers. And they satisfied me. I had four of them from him. And where I lived and what I hunted, they were fine. You go to a farm and it's not like he disappears. Mm-hmm. They always stayed right around and they would mark a hole that the woodchuck was in and then they'd sit there and wait till I dug it up, and then
they would dispatch it.
Yeah, right.
Quickly too.
Right. And they'd catch it when it bolted, but they weren't trying to dig the hole open and barking and in the way or anything.
Right.
And by the same token, maybe I told this story before, where we lived, we're in a little chalet on the mountain. And a guy we knew came to visit. Carl wasn't home, but he was inebriated. He was drunk. And I could hear it when he got out of his car. He started gabbling and he wanted to come up the back steps. And my lurcher got up and said, "Hi, how are you?" to the guy. But he wouldn't let the guy get on the steps. He just put his body across. And the guy's petting him and talking to me. And I said, "Carl's not home." But he still tried to come up the steps and the dog wouldn't let him. But he didn't bite the guy or bark at the guy. He simply kept his body.
So he knew something was off with the guy. And
that's the working
that's the collie in it.
part. And maybe I told you one time, we're up on the left side of the lake cutting firewood. And I had a 7/8 cross that I had bred, a 3/4 cross to a pure greyhound.
So 7/8 meaning what?
7/8 greyhound, 1/8 collie. So this much collie.
Just a drop.
Yeah. He was my son's dog, the big Kahuna. And
it's a great name.
While we were cutting firewood, which is very noisy, Kahuna would come and bark at us. And then he'd leave and be gone. And then he'd come back and bark at us. Well, how long does it take you to figure out that Lassie's telling you Timmy's in the well? Right. We went down for lunch and my mother, who lived with us, was not at the house. So I went out looking for her and I went up the right side of the lake and she had fallen, but she wasn't hurt. She just sat down and couldn't get back up. And she said Kahuna laid by her.
That's crazy.
And then he'd get up and she could hear him barking over by us. And then he'd go back and lay with her.
Good loyal dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a 7/8 cross. They have a affinity with their people, I would say. And I've never had any other cross for any length of time. I had some deerhound crosses and mixes like that, but they didn't have that desire to be with you and please you.
So you think the Greyhound has some quality that makes it like that?
I have no idea. I've only had one Greyhound, a retired track Greyhound. She was a lovely dog, but we didn't live where she could run loose. And she was so big-bodied that, yes, she could run straight very fast, but she couldn't maneuver in the woods like a lurcher could. Mm-hmm. I remember once being somewhere with the lurcher, and we were crossing a shallow stream with a lot of mossy rocks. I was going across being careful, and all of a sudden my lurcher was beside me, and I could hold on to him. I didn't ask him to do that. He just said, "Oh, look at that idiot. She's going to fall in and we'll have to go home or whatever. Got to take care of mama." Right? Yeah. There were lots of stories. Like I said, I wrote to Hancock to thank him for the dogs, and that they did what I needed to have them do. Whereas, a guy that's driving around and wants to slip it on a deer or whatever, you want a harder, go get 'em kind of dog. You don't need any kind of thought process particularly.
Yeah.
Like the coyote hounds out west that Sean raises and stuff. Get in the truck, go catch a coyote, get back in the truck. You really don't live with them like I was able to live with the lurchers. And
could he, if he tried, like Sean, for example, or somebody that has that type of lurcher, that's not a dog that you would want to live in your house every day, have company over, have other pets around it. You know what I mean?
The other pets might be, and the local cats. You'd really have to.
The local cats can get it.
Yeah, but I think you'd have to confine the animal.
I see what you're saying.
I've never seen anything I've been around a few dogs that Sean bred. I've never seen anything in them that made them seem like they could be dangerous towards a person.
No, I don't. I agree.
That they don't, the only thing they have in them that could be aggressive would be that little drop of pit bull, bulldog, whatever. Right. But the collie, not aggressive. The sight hound, not aggressive.
Yeah, they're not using sight hounds for protection work or home defense. It's they're
very passive, but they got a strong prey drive. It's sketchy how they look at even little dogs.
Oh yeah, I mean they would love to kill a little dog.
When I had puppies around, the lurcher that I got from Sean that was named Duchess, she would. I never gave her the chance to interact with puppies, but there were times that she saw them and you could just see it in her eyes. And you're like, no. Little dachshund puppies. Would you trust a bull stag around dachshund puppies, Teddy?
Never had a bull stag.
Could you imagine trusting one around dachshund puppies?
And mine tolerated them to, the puppies could climb all over them and bite them in the face, and they would just kind of paw it away. And maybe that's the working collie that...
Right. Gives them a little...
When you were talking about earlier going ratting with Brian Plummer.
Yes.
He, in the Tales of a Rat Hunting Man, he talked about a lot. One of the most memorable places he talked about was called a maggot farm.
Yes.
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Apparently over there it is.
Food for chickens?
Maybe.
Maybe fly fishermen like maggots for bait on their little tiny hooks.
They would have trays off the ground that they would put rotting animals in. And then they would do something to I think they would flood it and the maggots would float to the top and they'd scoop the maggots off.
And then put them in their mouth and put them on the hook. Yeah. Okay.
That's disgusting. I don't think there's a more disgusting, like in terms of dirty and gross thing than a maggot.
And he was ratting there, so he's getting that nastiness on him. So he was serious about ratting. He wasn't like a falconer who's got a hawk at home and doesn't hawk.
Yeah, that's why I kind of
was
brought
out
up
there.
That's why I brought up that whole thing, because I'm like, anybody who gets notoriety or writes books or has a YouTube channel or something, there's always people that are out there trying to like discredit them for just one reason or the other. You know what I mean? So so I don't know.
But that's case in point of you hunt what you got. So around him, he had rats to hunt. So that's what he was going to hunt.
Right.
And in the tape, he sounded so excited about the possibility of seeing like a groundhog. And I think he talked about raccoons too in the tape, because they don't have that there. We're kind of lucky in that respect.
Oh, we have a lot of varmints that we can hunt that they don't have in other countries, although raccoons are now loose in Germany. And the guys with, at least with the big dachshunds, they don't like them because they hurt their dogs. Very tough. Very tough. Yeah, I found a letter I wrote to David Hancock, and it's about the last lurcher I had from him. And I'd forgotten these behavior the dog had that I had forgotten, that I just took for granted. If I was going hunting and put the dachshunds in the truck, the lurcher would jump in the truck, get all excited. If I put the hawk and the dachshunds in the truck, he'd go back in his kennel.
That's funny.
He knew he wasn't invited.
He knew he wasn't invited. All right. Celtic was his name.
That's a great name, too.
Yeah.
You got away with names, Teddy.
Well, after all these years. And I used him as a draw dog, and he would pull out and shake a groundhog so quickly it'd break its back. Now, it might be alive, but a doctor has told me when your back is broken, you don't feel anything. So
let's hope not.
He was very good.
My back is broken.
He didn't get bitten, and he cleaned, he killed each animal. And we went hunting up in New York State one time with a bunch of people with terriers, and we did really well. But they let Keeper or Celtic draw every groundhog, and they're 8 to 10 pounds. And he drew and killed 15 groundhogs in one day.
It's a great day.
Which I would say was a workout for any dog.
So for those of us that are not well-versed in groundwork, when you say draw, that's reach in, pull it out.
Right.
That can't be easy to pull a groundhog out of a hole.
Not if they've buried themselves, but a 60-pound dog. And the other advantage he has is long legs. It's hydraulics.
Yeah,
he straightens his legs and he's got his mouth on it. It's coming out. There wasn't anything he couldn't draw.
I would think groundhogs would have ways to hold themselves into the hole.
They do. They bury themselves.
Mm-hmm. And
sometimes you come to their rear end, and mostly you come to their face. And he knew how to grab them and
not get bit or anything.
Yeah. And he always seemed to know what hole they were going to bolt from.
Yeah, I've noticed that in like even Harrison's videos and stuff like that. Like you'll see there's multiple exits, and you'll see the dog kind of like go from one to the other, and then all of a sudden he just like keys on one.
Yeah.
And like kind of freezes and then walks, and then it comes out, and then he grabs it. It's like I think they hear something.
Smell. Hear.
Even with Ginger, I watched a couple videos where rabbit's in a hole, Franny goes in the hole, and 9 times out of 10 the rabbit comes out of the same hole because it jumps over Franny. And I would hold Ginger back, and you could even see it in some of the videos where it's like she's sitting, looking, and then all of a sudden she like,
yeah,
and then it comes out, and then she's chasing it. Like it's like they're hearing it, or like they're getting a waft of scent from the hole or something, and it's like triggering something in them. I don't know, because I don't hear anything. Nothing. Like I have no idea what's going on.
I had a Harris hawk that the longer I had him, he knew he would indicate a hole by perching over it, and might be 3-4 holes, and the dachshunds would go in. And I guess he heard, but he would take a perch, and the rabbit would bolt from that hole.
So like he would move as you're waiting.
Yeah.
And then it was like it happened too many times to be a coincidence that he would move right over and then catch it.
That's not something a goshawk's ever going to do.
I held my bird back at the Jersey meet like 4 times from an exit, and she saw just the, And if you slow the video down, you can see like just the tip of like
the
the rabbit's nose and
nose.
goes back. And I'm holding it. I'm like, stop, you idiot. And then all of a sudden I just let go. I'm like, forget it. I let go and she throws both legs in the hole and grabs the rabbit. So like they're picking up on stuff
that we're
way more, you know.
One thing Celtic did, and I had forgotten all about this because when we lived in North Jersey, it was rocky soil a lot. And sometimes the woodchuck would dig away and through the rocks, and I would work hard to keep getting it, and he would stand up and come in front of me like, it's gone, stop digging, you idiot.
He couldn't hear it anymore under the ground digging or something.
I don't
or whatever.
know, but he consistently, sooner or later, he indicates to me that we should move on.
I wish I had that sometimes. When to just give up. Just let it go and move on.
Right. Well, you know, I don't usually give up. So
yeah,
this dog was telling me.
I try and listen to the animals if they know what they're talking about.
That's a good point.
Sometimes they don't know what they're talking about, so you just ignore them. I know better than you. But if they know better than you, listen to them.
Yeah.
Dachshund's in a hole looking for a groundhog, and he's moving around, and Keeper's laying over there, you know, waiting for something to happen. And he'd look up in a tree now and then, and I got mad at him. I said, it's in the hole. We're not looking for squirrels. Guess where the groundhog was?
In the tree.
In the tree.
No way. Really? I was making a joke.
No. Apparently, when we got there, sometime during while looking for it, it'd run out up a tree.
Like
I had no
tree?
idea they did that.
Yeah, they can climb a tree, not as well as a squirrel.
But they can climb the actual tree.
Yep, the tree. They don't need a limb. They can go up the bark.
No way. That's crazy. I never knew that.
And they don't go very high. I got pictures of them somewhere. So Keeper's watching me dig, and I'm yelling at the dachshund, go get him. Where is he? Poking with sticks and everything. And he looks up every now and then, and I get mad at him, right? He didn't jump up and bark and everything. I think he was enjoying me being an idiot, you know?
Yeah.
Did you get that groundhog?
Oh, yes.
I would imagine a groundhog in a tree is it's not getting away at that.
Well, they don't cling like a raccoon.
Yeah, a couple nice big
Raccoon's
sticks.
virtually impossible to get off any kind. They can hold it like a squirrel and get bobbed. Okay, diversion. Where I was born and raised, a lot of industrial parks. And Sunday was a good day to go because it was before computers, so there weren't people around all the time. A little construction yard and a nice swampy brook. And the dogs got into a coon under all the lumber and everything. And he goes up this oak tree. And he's out on a limb. So I looked over the situation, and I could climb the tree, which I like to do. And I go up, and he goes further out on the limb, and the limbs are above each other. So I'm holding the top limb and walking on the bottom limb, about 10 feet off the ground. And I'm jumping up and down and shaking, and the coon's going like this, going like this, and I hear voices. And it was a couple of guys that had come to the office for something.
Oh, no. That's hilarious. You're just
That's
in the tree.
It's really hard to explain.
Yeah. I forgot my keys at work. I'm going to go back. And there's just like some woman in a tree swinging.
Did they notice you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did they call the cops?
No, they left.
Did they tell you to leave that raccoon alone right now?
No, they left.
That's what would happen now.
Yeah, that's how they are now. They're like that meme. Leave her alone. Yeah. That's like that. That's how they are nowadays.
I don't see anything. Celtic also ran bears where we lived, and he learned respect because a big one turned around and smacked him in the shoulder. Did
it lay him open?
Nope. It was. Let's see. The dachshund had treed the bear, and every time I went near it, the bear would jump out, and the dachshunds would go after it again, and then Celtic would bite it in the butt. And it kept going, but he said after the fourth time he bit the bear, she turned on him and smacked him good in the shoulder. He learned their power. Now when he comes in the yard or we see one in the woods, he chases it at a discreet distance, barking and woofing.
Smart.
They they are aware of their interaction with the owner. They care, I guess is the word. They care. Keeper and I always had a contest. Our house, as I say, was a chalet, and the back deck looked down into the kennels. And if one of the dogs were barking or something, I'd go out and yell, and Keeper would come out and he'd look at me and start wagging his tail. He could read the muscles in my face. I could not speak before he would bark. You know, he always got the last word. All right. I think they have a sense of humor too, because I would try and I'd want to yell at him. And before I could get a word out, he'd bark. I enjoyed having them where I lived and what I hunted. They were excellent, excellent. One time in Kentucky, I had 2 of them down there, Kahuna and probably Keeper, probably. Anyway, and we were hunting groundhogs with the terrier people, and they put up a coyote, and my 2 went after it, 2 lurchers went after it, and they got its tail as it went over a fence. They jumped up and got his tail. So they're fast, but
they're amazing dogs.
That's got to be. Can you imagine how cool that'd be to catch a coyote with your dogs?
Oh, yeah.
Celtic got a young one, 3/4 grown, in a cornfield. It was all fenced in except an entrance and exit for the tractors, and he caught up with that young coyote, and it was quite a fight. That's
another thing we have here that they probably wish they had, and well, they might not wish they had them, but the guys who want to hunt them probably wish they had them.
Yes,
in the UK.
Yeah, Europe's pretty stale if you think about it. I hate to say it.
They got a lot
like
of
that.
rabbits.
They only have fox. They have no coyotes. They have no bears. They have no raccoons.
Well, fox and badger are their earth besides rabbits.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the British fox and badger, we wouldn't have terriers.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
And their badgers are different than ours.
Bigger.
Bigger?
Yeah, they go 40 pounds.
They're more submissive, though.
No.
They know.
Is that what's the difference? Why do people here don't really dig badgers, right?
No.
Of course, Chad Reynolds killing them all day long out there.
No, but digging,
Not
that's a different
originally.
story.
We didn't develop any breed to hunt badgers or groundhogs. We took European.
So do we have are there Americans that dig badgers here?
Probably not like Europe. I would imagine they would.
Not that I know of.
And
What do you mean
but why
digging?
is that?
But what do you mean digging?
The way they hunt them in
Like a community of
in
people
England.
that do it?
The way they hunt them in England. Or they can't do it anymore.
There's a lot of terrier people that dig groundhogs. More than
So that's what they're doing now.
right. Or fox once in a while, but mostly groundhogs because the farmers want them out. Badgers are out west, and you can ask O'Neill. I don't think anybody. We
Is it
shoot
the
things.
soil? Is it the soil composition? Is it the way they behave?
We shoot things.
Are their burrows too deep?
I think what little experience I had out there is that unless it's a natal den, the badger has a territory, and wherever he happens to be at daylight, he digs a den or has a shallow den, and that's where he stays. And then he gets up at night and goes out. The one time I had a dachshund and on a badger, the badger just dug away faster than the groundhog can because he's
Really?
bigger and it's sandy soil. Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe something about the European badgers different, makes them more huntable.
They have home dens, and that's where you're likely to find
So
them.
if you find a den, you can work the den, but out west, it's like there could be dens all over.
Right.
You don't really know.
And-
That makes sense.
That reminds me of 2 things about Plummer. Is one, he says that he detests guns.
Well, there you go. That's because he's not allowed to have them.
Yeah. Whatever you got to tell yourself.
So he did all of his hunting was without a gun.
The lurcher's a gun,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
He would go out and lamp rabbits with the
With the
lurchers.
torch?
Yeah, with the torch.
With the torch. And they lamp fox, too.
Yeah.
But
That is
we're
cool
not
that they-
supposed to spotlight wildlife.
Isn't that funny that we the culture is just different there.
Yes.
They don't view that as a problem there. Lamping, it's perfectly legal to lamp certain things over there.
But I don't think you can shoot them out the car like
No, I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I would imagine you can't.
you can slip. They used to slip dogs on them, the lurchers, but I think they've outlawed everything.
Well, we were talking to a guy recently. His name is Roy Lupton. Have you ever seen on YouTube the Field Sports UK?
Yes.
Roy is the falconer that's on there.
Oh, okay. There's usually too much talk.
Yeah. A lot of talk. Yeah. I think it's a British thing, right?
Yes, maybe.
And
says me into the microphone.
that's all me and KCR's talk. But he was saying that it's illegal to course hair there.
Yeah,
Did he say
that.
you can course fox?
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
You
if
can
he
shoot.
said-
You can shoot fox, but you can't. I don't think you can chase them with dogs. You can chase rabbits with dogs, but you can't.
You can't chase
course.
hair.
You can't course hair. And then I was asking him because then
I think he said you could course foxes still. I think he did say that.
okay.
But the actual, the fox hunt you can't do that off a horse, the traditional fox hunt. But you might be able to. But you can definitely hunt rabbits with lurchers, but not hares with lurchers.
It's strange.
I don't know if it's the relationship they have with rabbits. We were saying earlier that I don't think the mics were on, but they view rabbits as pests. But
agricultural pest.
Right.
Kind of like our groundhogs, basically.
Yeah.
They have, and I don't know if it's my American brain, they're all rabbits to me. Jackrabbits are rabbits.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but there's a distinction between rabbits are the ones that burrow, and that's the agricultural pest, and hares are not.
Right.
So maybe that's it.
The general public probably has a different perception of hares.
Isn't that, and I told him that, I said, it's that, imagine that if lurchers kind of went away there because of that.
Be a shame.
He said they had the last Waterloo Cup where they course hares.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful, time-honored thing to have gone away. That's a big loss to their culture.
I think maybe some other areas put hares in large enclosures and they coursed them.
Mm-hmm.
Not England, but other countries. And it gave everybody a bad taste because that's fish in a barrel. But if you do it out where the hare lives.
If that dog catches it, they've done something.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we went to North Dakota where lots of open country. And we were lucky to catch 3.
I was just thinking about Sean's story. I started laughing thinking about Sean's story of getting beat up by the kids and slipping his dog into the frozen soil, and it just immediately destroyed its feet. So he was done.
Sean is very good with children, and these kids took advantage of his good nature.
That's so funny.
There's a funny story about one of their kids. The parents went shopping, and their son was out in the field flying a kite. And he waved at them, and they go shopping. Then they come back, and the kid's still out in the field, but the kite is down, and the kid's waving. it's so muddy there.
He was stuck.
Gumbo. He was stuck out in the field.
Wow.
And he had pulled out his foot out of a boot and all this.
I guess it's a different world out there.
Yes.
Did you just let Abigail go in the field and fly a kite while you go and get groceries?
Absolutely.
Oh, heavens.
Absolutely.
The world has changed.
Yeah.
We took our kids across country in a motorhome just before high school. Did a circle of the United States.
I want to do
And
that.
we would stop at a KOA, for instance, in Montana, on the edge of a beet field, sugar beets. And there was a little road that ran down into town. Okay, I don't know, you couldn't see the town from the campground. And we'd take the kids' bikes, and they'd take off on the bikes and go to town. Would you do that today? Would you?
It depends how big they are. And you said it right before.
Pre-high school,
Oh, yeah,
15.
Those are still kids.
And they went to town, and they bought some bubble gum and this and that. And then on the way back, there was a horse looking over. They fed him the bubble gum, and they came back. And
Kids have always disappeared, but it just seems scarier now.
I think
because it's publicized, I think, more than it
I think it's
ever used
happening
to
more.
be.
I think it's happening more than it was.
I just know that
It's wretched.
People are deranged.
the idea of something nefarious happening to my daughter's enough to keep me up at night.
I went to a very large hound show in southeastern Pennsylvania where hound packs are, and they always have an annual show for foxhounds, and the masters come and the judges look at all the hounds and the hound packs. It's a big stable area, big field, and there were people from all over Canada and everywhere with hound packs. And across the street was a PGA tournament. So you got all those people across the road, and my mother is sitting there watching me showing a terrier. And Kenny, about 3-4 years old, 3, I think, something like that, was standing next to her watching. And of course, he's bored out of his mind. But I'm going around the ring, and about the second time around the ring, I look, and Kenny's not standing behind my mother. And it's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed little boy. And I looked around, and I said to my mom, where is he? And he wasn't there. So I left the ring, and you've got crowds of people from all over.
It's my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Never found him again.
Gone forever.
Microchip, any kind of tracking collar.
I used to scoff at people that had kids on a leash. I get it now.
Yeah. You just ask them if it's a rescue.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I found Kenny.
Where was Kenny?
He was down in one of the empty stalls in the barn. He needed to poop. And Grandma wasn't paying attention, and he still wore a diaper.
Oh,
and he was embarrassed and ashamed.
Poor guy.
First you want to murder him, then you...
Yeah. Oh,
God love him. But that was...
scary.
And then years later, I'm hunting up in New York State with a family and wonderful people, and the kids were with me and everything. And after a couple of days hunting, you're a little tired. And my little Ford Escort wagon, I'm driving these dirt roads, and they're fighting, and they won't stop fighting. You have 2 boys, you understand.
Well, we're getting there.
He's sitting on my side. He took me, right? So I stopped at a dirt road intersection at a stop sign, and I told him, get out.
That's good.
I've had enough. Get out.
Yeah.
And they did.
You drove away.
Yep. And I drove away. Of course, I got out of sight, and immediately maternal instinct jumps in. I come back. They're throwing rocks at the stop sign. That didn't work.
That's hilarious.
It's so funny to me that they didn't get into field sports.
The one's a fisherman. He's a diehard Florida every weekend, and his 2 boys. The other one is kind of like Carl.
He likes chopping wood.
No, he likes computers, and he's smart, brainy, not physically inclined. Whereas the one in Florida, he's just gotten a partnership with a body shop after working for BMW for 20 odd years. Now he's a partner in a body shop. It's a hands-on, but he fishes every weekend with the boys in West Coast. Kenny's an inside person, and that's okay.
That's a great place to fish.
It's like fishing in an aquarium.
Fish, there's exotic stuff everywhere.
Yeah, they catch the snakeheads and the peacock bass. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Gorgeous fish.
They always have pictures of these giant fish. Get away from me.
Did you never get into fishing?
When we lived on a lake, I did, but only for bass to have for dinner. It doesn't do anything for me because the dogs aren't involved.
It doesn't do much for me either, to be honest.
Have you ever seen and it's something that Plummer probably would have been into if he could, was like in the book right there, A Sporting Chance, that Casey's touching right now. The otter, fishing with an otter.
Oh, yes. Or with a cormorant.
Yeah. How cool is that?
That's definitely somebody that can.
Now, the otter, actually, you know what? There's a video on YouTube right now of a guy who goes out in Asia with he goes out to this tribe of people that has the small claw otters that fish with them. And then there's same Asia, they fish with the cormorants. If it wasn't effective, these people wouldn't be doing it.
Exactly. They're not doing it for recreation.
Yeah.
They want to.
Which is me, and I could definitely see myself with an otter taking it out to ponds, and if I had if you could train it to.
I wonder if an otter is more. Maybe we should follow up with Joseph Carter. I wonder if an otter is more biddable than a mink.
I was texting with him about it, and he said something like there's a legality thing behind it.
I was going to say you can't have a game.
No, yeah,
it's a fur bearer.
You can have a mink.
Something about a mink versus. It's funny how we distinguish between.
Because mink are captive. The laws were passed so they could be captive bred for the fur trade.
Okay,
and otters, sense. I guess it's cost prohibitive to breed otters in captivity for the fur trade. So there was no money behind it to try to push that through. Yeah. And people love them because they're cute and they don't realize that when you're in a tube, they'll rip your butt cheeks off and then rip your eyelids off when you're in the water.
That has happened, hasn't it?
Many times. Happens all the time. Every year.
American otters?
Oh, yeah. Every year somebody's getting taken to the hospital for...
They'll come up and get your dog out of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
really?
nasty.
American otters?
Yeah. I think they're protecting...
Could you imagine those... they call them river wolves.
Yeah,
the big
ones
American
in
ones.
South America that are like 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Let's
keep them down.
I'm more scared of that than the caiman. The caiman aren't really.
They could probably kill you if you were in the water.
Oh yeah, they could. You see them posturing up to jaguars in videos and stuff. They have like no fear at all. They go up to the jaguar and start hissing at it and trying to bite it.
Is this like a grizzly? Is this like a Wolverine and a grizzly bear?
Yeah.
I don't think grizzly bears mess with Wolverines.
I'm sure if they wanted to, they would, but it's the same thing. They're the same family anyway, so that's why.
They may look at it and say, that's not worth my trouble.
It's just they're so big.
I might lose an eye.
There's so many of them, and you could always see in all the clips that I've ever seen, the jaguar just seems like it's not worth his, because he'll try to grab one, and then the rest are going to come and start biting.
They make a calculation that if I mess with this thing, I may lose an eye and I'm dead.
Right. They're not brave to prove animals aren't brave. They do what they have to do to either get food or protect their family. Right.
Yeah. It's like the grizzly bear. It's probably the same thought process of a grizzly bear.
I don't think a grizzly bear is intimidated by a wolverine in any way, shape, or form.
Or, it's just not worth my time.
I mean, Wolverine's a big weasel, but it's...
Now, if
talking about a 400-pound grizzly bear, it'll just crush it to...
Oh, yeah. I think there's nothing is... I don't know. Is there an animal as powerful and deadly as a grizzly?
Another grizzly.
A bigger grizzly?
Tiger, probably. Tiger's the only other animal I would think of.
What do you think? Tiger versus grizzly. What wins in a fight? I think the grizzly wins.
I don't know about that, man. You know how big a grizzly... a tiger is literally 100, like I think something like could be 100 or more pounds bigger than a male lion. They're huge.
They're bigger than a lion.
They're massive.
Teddy, what do you think? Lion?
I don't even go there. I know a guy that did put a ferret and a groundhog in a wire cage.
Groundhog
a ferret and a groundhog.
Groundhog won, right?
And they went at it, and the guy left, came back to see.
Why did he do that?
Same thing you're saying.
Well, I used to do that. I used to catch, the most fun you could do with your kids. It's probably wrong and illegal. I would go around in the spring, and there'd be spider webs everywhere. And I'd go around with a Tupperware, and I would get the spider out of the center, and I would run back inside with like 6 spiders in one thing, and they'll kill each other.
Well, there you go.
Boy, they're wiggling and biting each other.
That sounds like fun, Casey.
When you were homeschooled and you had no cable or internet,
right.
It was either that or swing on the rope for the 17,000th time. We had a rope swing, and that was like.
Did you wear that rope swing out?
It was still. I drove by that. They knocked the house down, built a new one, and the rope swing. It's still there.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad put it up.
So what happened with the groundhog and the ferret?
They were each in a corner when the guy came back. They had their own corners. They had worked out that one couldn't dominate, so they just called a truce.
If the groundhog was a predator, it'd be different.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Might have been. I don't think animals fight for the sake of fighting.
No, not unless it's territorial, then they'll fight.
Right,
But there's for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, it's for a reason.
Or like when 3 dachshunds have it bayed somewhere in the briars, he's going to fight.
Then he's going to fight, yeah. I think only domestic animals are bred to fight.
Yeah, dogs are
bred to, they get, like, you can see a pit bull, like, mauling a child, and it's, like, wagging its tail with enjoyment, like, it likes it.
Yeah, they've been bred to do that.
Yeah, that's what they like doing.
These little guys, they bark at a groundhog or a coon and...
Wagging the tail, though, that doesn't mean it's happy, does it?
Not necessarily.
It's excitement. Their heart's beating, their tail's wagging. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
they're not sad about it.
A lot of times with when they're on quarry like that, the tail is way up. I mean, they'll wag their tail at you, but boy, when they're in fighting something, that tail's... That's what we genetically programmed to do.
It's almost like a domestic... inbred pit bull is more dangerous than like most wildlife you would encounter.
They're not supposed to be aggressive towards people.
It's how they're raised, like anything else.
They were not, that's not their original purpose. They weren't supposed to be aggressive towards people.
Their purpose wasn't to maul children?
No.
No, not originally. Now it is. Now it is.
Pit bull people are like, it's not the dog, it's the owner. They're screaming, going crazy.
The bully moms out there, the pit bull moms.
Yeah.
That's a thing now, Teddy. They call them pit bull moms.
Pitties.
Yeah, pity moms. Yeah,
that's what they call them.
Yeah,
with the sticker on the back.
It's not a pit bull anymore. It's a pity.
Does it come with does your membership come with a free pack of cigarettes and a dream catcher tattoo?
It comes with a CNA license
and an insulin prescription.
A son named Aiden. And a sticker that says "Who Saved Who" on the back of their car.
That's great.
Sorry, Teddy.
How about a porcupine story?
Oh, yes.
That's something they don't have in England either.
They're probably glad they don't have that in England.
Yeah.
I like seeing them. We saw that one, looking for goshawk nests.
Yeah. They're cool. All over up there.
Yep.
And there's no season or bag limit.
Really?
And it used to be illegal to kill them because if you were lost in the wilderness, you kill and eat a porcupine.
It was like survival food.
Survival food. It was for a while illegal to kill them.
There was that show Dual Survival. There was an episode where they kill a porcupine and eat it.
Yeah, ate it, and then they went back to the hotel and went to sleep.
Yeah, it died for no reason.
Had prime rib.
Yeah.
Well, through the Scouts, the council that we belonged to owned property in the Adirondacks. And they had a problem with porcupines because they like salt. And they're always chewing on the edges of buildings, and they were allowed to discourage that by killing the...
So they got like a permit to do that or something? Allegedly, maybe.
Carl and I and the kids were up there with a very small dachshund and my lurcher, whose name was Lee. She was my second one. And the guy said, there's porcupines, so be careful with your dogs, naturally. So, of course, I go for a walk and we get into a porcupine, and Lee got some in her nose just poking, and Kicker, the dachshund, got one in her nose, and I called him off and backed him off, and we went on, and the porcupines live down in rock caves, and Kicker went in, and she found something. She was bang, bang, bang. Kicker's 6 pounds, but she's a go for it. And I listened, and I could hear something crying, and it was a porcupine. And when you bother them,
I'm crying again.
Like a little kid. My brother's picking on me.
That's like their sound that they make?
Yeah. I don't know what other sounds they make. I know when the dog and Kicker, because she'd already had some quills in her nose, she made that porcupine come out by biting it in the face. She avoided the tail when he flipped his tail, but she worked his face. And they don't, that's the only place you're going to get. And she bolted it, and I could shoot it.
That's cool.
The lurcher wouldn't touch it. I told the lurcher, don't touch it.
See, but if it was a bull lurcher, it probably would have not learned its lesson.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But the collie gives it, okay.
Right.
That's another pro,
And do what you're told,
Right.
Get back.
Right.
Right. And we treed one, and I shot it. But then again, Kicker got in one in the rocks. You just wait, and you can hear the porcupine rattling. because they shake their quills. And that one, because I had been involved with Jack Russell Terriers, there was a well-known terrier man that came to judge the shows. And they're all hunters. They're all mad keen hunters. And he had asked me, he said, can you get me a porcupine skin? We don't have porcupines in the UK. And I thought, well, here's my opportunity. And I had told him, yes, if you give me a badger skin.
Ah, that's a good trade.
Okay. So here was my porcupine. Now, I had to get it back to the truck and the camper we were in. And I had to enclose it so that those quills didn't get into anything. And eventually we went on home. And then I skinned it. And that was a fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
That was an interesting experience, is trying to skin it without.
It's like skinning a hand
I
grenade.
never considered you could even do it.
Yeah, you can. You can.
They're good eating too, apparently.
Yeah.
Like delicious. They
You know,
say.
they're it's just hair down here. But I got him skinned, and what was fascinating to me is down his back muscles, there's a whole bunch of tendons that come out there, so he can raise.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
it
interesting.
was. So I salted it. My kids are laughing at me because I'm getting stuck, and I have a picture of them holding him up. So I salted it real heavy and froze it. And eventually that terrier man came to judge, and I
Carefully gave it to him.
Yeah. Still enclosed. I forget if I put it in a box or what I did, but he took it home.
That's cool.
And then he shipped me the badger skin.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, that sounds a bad idea. I didn't even think of that with the one that I got that one time.
You still have that badger skin?
No, I gave it to,
Let's see it.
it's about that big. Looks like a badger. Flat.
It's cool.
It was for many years, but I am dispersing little things like that nobody wants.
Disperse in our direction. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the woman who has it is a terrier person who has hunted almost around the world, South Africa, other places.
It's a good home for
And
it.
she'd been to England and gotten badgers, but because of the transporting wild animals,
right.
she didn't have a badger skin. Now she does.
Perfect.
She showed me the trophy wall and everything else.
Yeah, good for her.
That's perfect, yeah.
And then we get to skunks, because we also have skunks that
They don't have skunks either?
No.
In Europe?
In Europe, no.
Really?
No, that's ours.
Yeah, dem's ours.
Them's ours. So the first story
They have
is
like
about
nothing there, basically.
They got rabbits.
They got rabbits.
They got rabbits.
Yeah, they got rabbits.
And they've got our squirrels now, too.
That's true.
The terrier men that came over, they always wanted to go hunting and see, what's this like? What's that like? And this one terrier guy, we were looking for groundhogs again, and one of my dogs got into a skunk in the hole. Okay. And I called her out. We don't do skunks. There's no reason to kill it and dig it up. And this terrier man said, there was a little whiff of skunk. It wasn't a spray. And he said, male ferret sprays, he stinks worse than that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said. I said, would you like to see what a skunk is like? Yeah, it can't be that bad.
I'm sure.
So I put the little dog back in, and she's boo-wooing it, and I dug to it, and the lurcher pulled it out and was slinging it around. She shakes everything, but it seemed to me like she read off of me, and she's slinging it, right?
Yeah.
So there's spray going everywhere.
Oh, my God.
And all I could hear is, bloody hell, bloody hell. So I don't.
That's
You
hilarious.
should have sent him back with some skunk juice.
Well, there is a guy that went back with a skunk skin. Christer Giselson came over from, I think, Sweden to hunt with me. He was on his way through, big, burly guy. And we went hunting, and unfortunately, we got into a skunk. I have pictures of it. And the same thing pretty much happened. And he found out, and he said, I want the skin. Okay. I don't mind a skunk smell. Put the gloves on, and I skinned it, and I salted it, and I wrapped it in 3 different bags, plastic bags. And he went on his way back to the airport.
And those back then where they didn't care.
Yeah, this was in the probably late 80s, early 90s, something. I never heard from him again.
Yeah.
I've thought about, you can buy a tanned skunk skin.
You can buy a live skunk.
Well, I'm just saying they're cheap. It's like $20. You can buy one.
I'm gonna buy one.
They're cool looking.
Yeah, it was one of my
the skunk skins are beautiful.
Yeah, and they're like, and you posted that one on Facebook not too long ago.
A white one.
It was like really white. Yeah,
it was pure white.
You ever seen a brown one?
I've seen captive brown ones. They call them cinnamon skunks.
No,
you got the cream ones too.
Oh, really? They're breeding them in colors now?
Yeah, they got like cream. It's like this. Like, you ever see like a fancy rat that's like a beige?
Oh, yeah,
like,
they
look like that kind of basically. And they take the gland out, I guess.
Everybody says they make great pets.
I held one, yeah. It's like super
They're
chill.
like a lazy ferret.
Very lazy ferret, yeah. Good point, Teddy. Yeah, New Jersey exotics.
This was living under.
Wow, that's cool.
His family lived under a porch, and I trapped him out.
Oh, that's
I almost
neat
kept him. Because I let him go. I don't shoot.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Is he cute?
He's beautiful.
I had one by the pond like literally 2 weeks ago. First one I ever saw on my property. He was cool looking.
Do they ever get into anything that we don't really want them to, or is it just the odor that's the nuisance? Because I've never really known them. I've got chickens. I don't ever think about skunks messing with the chickens.
They could probably dig in if they really had to, but they eat grubs and small things.
Anytime I see them in my yard, they're just digging around.
They're not like I guess they're predatory, but they're not like predatory like that. I don't think. Are they?
I think they could kill a chicken.
They're opportunists probably, but they eat. A lot of times you'll find, at least in the South, I don't know about up here, but you'll find like out in the field an old yellow jacket nest all dug up, and that you can tell a skunk had been there and they ate they eat the nest and the larva, and you find a bunch of dead yellow jackets laying around.
I wonder if they spray a little skunk juice in there to like kind of calm them down, like we do with the smoke.
They might. Spray it down the hole and gas them first.
Yeah, kill them all.
Yeah.
They can kill a dog too, right, Teddy?
The gas.
If the dog bites the rear end and it sprays down the dog's throat, it coats their lungs with oil, the dog's lungs with oil, and 2 or 3 days they'll die. But there are things a veterinarian can do to clear the lungs.
But can they die just from breathing it in?
No.
Like if they're under, because remember that time you had that scary situation?
Yeah.
Oh,
that made them sick.
In enclosed quarters,
they
can suffocate from it, can't they?
Probably if you don't get to them. I had 2 in a situation like that, and Jack Russell was fainted. He was not moving. When I finally got him out, the dachshund was okay. Like they got behind it in a bad situation. Yeah, you don't want them in there too long with them. But it's the ones that get sprayed down. And a terrier, that happens too, because they're always, and the skunk turns around, puts his tail up, and they grab. Terrier, whereas the dachshunds, they usually just bathe them. And the skunk will spray and stamp its feet and everything.
They're so funny when they do their little defense things.
Yeah, put that tail up and make my day. Even the babies, the little ones, they're so cute
when the little ones do it.
Yeah. That incident with my dogs is what made me start bringing a shovel with me everywhere I go.
Yeah. If you're running dachshunds, you should have a shovel in your truck.
You should have a shovel.
I think one of your podcasts, some woman said, you buy a dachshund, you better bring a shovel. Well, yeah.
Agreed. I 100% agree.
What else you got there, Teddy?
Well, I'm just looking through about deer, and told a deer. I told you about the one in the frozen ditch with the lurchers and Stacy.
Yeah, and her very helpful boyfriend or whatever.
Harrison Dolby's dad.
No, I was reading.
You're freezing to death? I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I'm watching the game.
Right.
Or whatever.
You want me to drag a dead deer where?
That's something Harrison would tell you, if you called him and you said, bro, I'm stranded, my car's broke down, I'm freezing to death, he would think of every way possible to not be there to help you.
Oh, man, I'd love to help out. I can't. I'm so sorry.
My socks are wet.
I'm in for the night.
I'm in for the night. I just shoot away.
some stuff or whatever. Whatever. Just teasing. Shout out to Harrison.
I got a turkey story up where we used to live. Shot a turkey, a gobbler, and he flew down into a swamp at the back of the lake, and I don't know where he is, right? I go home and get the dachshund, Iago, and he tracked it. Mm-hmm. He tracked it, and he was barking down in there. So I kind of went on the tussocks, to get to him. And he's standing on top of the turkey, holding it down. It's still alive.
How did he get it?
It was hurt enough that it flew and landed and probably didn't get, but he jumped on it.
He got there in time.
Yeah. And they track them. I don't know if you're ever hawking, if they run into a herd of turkeys, they'll track them. They smell, very strong smell.
Yeah, I feel like a dachshund will track anything if you give them the chance to.
Yes. And then if you shoot it or take it, they'll say, okay, we're doing this.
Yes, yeah.
And the lurchers used to tree them at night.
Oh,
roost.
That's cool.
And grouse. The lurchers would indicate grouse in a tree.
What a useful dog.
They are. Yeah.
They really are.
Like a dachshund, like any dog, any game you want it to get into, you pretty much show it to them or work them. They'll find them anywhere. Like we were camping and I had Lee, the lurcher, and the kids were catching frogs at a campground. And the lurcher's watching, so she goes over and she grabs a frog, like, here, I can do this.
My dachshunds, they've done that. Caught frogs by the pond.
Yeah, dachshunds are doing it to kill them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they grab them.
Yes, right.
The lurcher might have just been gently picking it up. I don't know.
Yeah, she did. She didn't hurt it, But I can feed them to the harris hawk. And put them in a water bowl. And they grab it, and then they take it up there and pull it apart.
You don't have to worry about... No, I already looked it up, actually. They're safe. Because they have that gland, right?
Green frog or bullfrog doesn't have any poison.
It's toads that have the glands.
The toads are the ones that have it?
Yeah, that makes them throw up.
Yeah, because I fed the screech owl a little, like a juvenile bullfrog that he killed. I didn't catch it.
I'd be more worried about parasites than anything.
I dewormed him too. I gave him little tabs. I just did the math very carefully. Well, it actually wasn't that hard because those tablets for like the worming and all that stuff is for one pigeon. And a pigeon on average is 400 grams. So I just
no idea.
I gave him a quarter of a tablet based off of his weight. And he was fine. I gave him.
Well, Teddy, thank you for indulging us yet again.
No problem. Always happy to share stories.
Yeah, it was fun.
I've been thinking about it since I knew you were coming, and I'm thinking, I think I told him that one, and I think I told him that one.
You got some good ones.
You're going to get tired of every time I show up, this recording equipment comes with me.
No. I was looking in my old diaries. I think I've had diaries since 1961.
Jeez.
And
they must be compiled into a book.
I told my kids to keep them because it says Kurt got his first tooth today. Oh. And then we went out and we killed 2 groundhogs and
yeah. He got his first tooth today. And then we went hawking and it's like 3 pages of the hawking story. That's like me.
Today was Leo's wedding. And then I had this really awesome flight.
Exactly. Right. And I think one of your podcast people hit it right. When you come home and you didn't catch anything, everybody knows, Everybody knows. It's something about coming home without taking game that
it's infuriating.
Even your spouse can
he knows.
Normally, they know.
She knows when I caught more than one or it was a good flight. Because I think she just sees me bringing the bird back to the mew It's like skipping along.
Instead of like a caveman.
Yeah, swing the door open.
Right. So, usually I come in and I say, well, Hedge was the hero today, because Hedge maybe did more work. And then he knows it's okay to
Yeah.
speak up.
I won't be in that bad of a mood if the dogs do something cool.
My joke
Right.
is, she'll ask me if I caught anything. Nope. But I had a lot of good flights.
Yeah.
I never even say that.
Yeah, you know what? It's not about the game. It's about the flight. Shut up.
No.
It's like,
The hell up.
it could be, every now and then our birds will take our breath away with something gorgeous to do.
Yeah,
they hit the
yeah.
wind and they're following the wind and they're after the rabbit, and then they'll do something really incredible. And sometimes it doesn't result in them catching it. And then sometimes, like my goshawk, she kind of had a beautiful flight after a rabbit, and then she missed the rabbit. And I don't care about that beautiful flight because she missed the rabbit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
makes the flight complete.
And she jumps up on a sumac that's about 3 feet tall.
And drops.
And I'm walking and I'm just like miserable. And then I see her like look inquisitively at something. And then she just like drops off of it. And I hear wee. And I'm like, I'm dropping like 8 feet in the air. So that is more important to me than that beautiful flight where she missed.
Exactly.
That whole falconry thing about the flight versus the catch. It's like, you got to catch stuff.
I'm not
man.
at that point yet.
No.
Maybe there'll come a day that the flight is important, but it's the catch. I'm not out there to exercise the rabbit. I want him to come home with me, and I'll stick with the rabbit.
I'm not trying to educate him.
No, and I'll stick with him until I get him. These people say, let's go find another one. That makes me wild.
Yeah.
We know where this one is. We just need to keep after it.
There's the long-winged guys that fly grouse, like they want to catch the grouse and they also want to catch it in fine style.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to catch it.
Yeah.
The guys that actually, shout out to Tyler Sladen, he doesn't want to catch a quail on the ground.
Yeah,
he wants to catch it on the wing. And if given the choice between catching it and not a spectacular flight, but you catch it, right? Or you don't catch it, I'm going to catch it.
I'm in to catch it.
I'm going to catch it, but with quail and like game birds like that, like you don't want to catch them on the ground. Like a pheasant, like tucked in the grass and your bird falls on it.
Do you care if your bird falls on a rabbit that's tucked in the grass?
Well, the rabbit can't fly.
The rabbit can run.
Yeah, I'd rather my bird smoke it while it's running, and if she falls on it and catches it.
So you don't want to catch the rabbit when it's hunkered up, not doing anything.
No, I want to catch rabbits. Rabbits I want to catch. I'm just saying if I was going to go out west and like hunt like grouse or something like that.
You'd rather come home with nothing.
No, I'm going to come home with something, but like I want to see my bird take it out of the air. Like, that's way cooler.
Well, yeah, of course, that's what we prefer.
Yeah, that's all.
You know what I mean? But if I'm hunting and I catch one on the ground, I'm like, I'm just going to throw it in my bag. Cool, let's keep going. And then hopefully we catch one on the wing.
Yeah.
I like seeing the bird learn how to handle rabbits, like go down a hedgerow and it'll stay between the rabbits out here and the hawk is here.
Yeah, cutting it off.
Yeah. And I like to see they'll run it in a circle and the hawk will figure, well, next circle, I got it.
That's all about.
I'm excited for you for your new bird. Can't wait to see
and
what you
likewise, we'll keep in touch. And thank you for.
Of course, my pleasure. Shout out to Tom Cullen.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Coming through.
Thank you, Tom.
Very much, Tom.
Very nice birds, it looks like.
And since we have social media, we'll let you know every 5 minutes what it's doing. Or not.
Yeah,
right.
This bird it's going to be like my child. It'll never be on social media. No one will know it exists.
Yeah.
And thank you for putting furniture on it too.
Yes, Tom, thank you.
That would have been
I helped. I casted.
Well, both of you. Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like a falconer again.
Not having a bird it's
depressing.
It is.
It's the pits.
That's why I have 4, so I'll never be depressed again.
Right.
All right. Until next time, Teddy.
All right. Thank you both.